Well, hey there. This is my first ever speed paint on YouTube. Woo! Um, I don't know. I have always thought about doing this, and I finally did it, and I finally figured out how to really do it. And so right now I am recording a voiceover, I guess, for it. I don't really know. I've seen a lot of people do that kind of thing before, and I thought, why not? Anywho, so first off, I'm gonna have posted a small clip of this on my TikTok. And if you're not following my TikTok, I'll put a link in my bio. But um, and if you are from TikTok to see the rest of this video, hello, welcome to my speed paint. I'm currently shadow banned on TikTok for some reason, so trying out some other media forms. Talked about doing this on my TikTok before during some live streams. So, Anywho, let's get down to business. What I'm drawing here today. I'm drawing an original character of mine. Her name is Veiko. This is actually her celestial form after her whole story. I have like a whole entire 12 arc story for her and about 6 other characters that roam around with her. And it's a long story. I've worked on it for quite some time, and it is actually the history of kind of where another story I'm actually currently writing, I'm working on right now, is at, of the world. And basically, long story short, she became a goddess towards the end of her whole entire shtick. Spoiler alert. And this is her in that kind of celestial form. As you can see, I switch back and forth between the reference I have of her outside of that. She's great. I love her. She's a specific race that I created, a Vega, and basically she became the goddess of arcane and magical energy altogether, which has in turn impacts with her race, but I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole entire rabbit hole to talk about my story stuff. And I have some projects that I'm working on that have to do with that, and I don't want to spoil a bunch of stuff, But as you can see, I am doing line art right now, which I am horrible at. I hate doing line art, but I'm trying to get better on digital line art. Really trying. So I was like, I'm going to do some line art work, because usually I just do painting style, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it this time. And so that's what I'm doing here. Trying to make it work, and I think it turned out pretty okay. Could have been better, could have been worse, but that's life. Sorry for saying so much, but she's a pretty little gal. And I created this because I'm actually running a D&D campaign that takes place in this world that I have multiple stories in, and one of the characters actually has a warlock pact with this particular goddess, which in the world is known as the Low Way, or the Vega, but mostly the Low Way. So I thought this would be fun to draw for reference for myself on what she looked like. And, well, yeah, it was hard for me to do this, because again, line art, not my strong suit, and I wanted it to look ethereal and pretty, and it was really hard for me not to paint. As you can see, I'm doing the weird tail right now, and I went through a few methods of trying to get that done. Again, my line art sucks, so I was just like, yeah. But for her design, I should probably actually talk about the process, right? For her original design, as you may have seen a few times when I skip to the reference, I might show a picture in this area. But for her original design, there it is. She is wearing fairly casual clothing, and that's not the outfit she wears the whole entire story, but that's like, you know, my kind of beginning-ish outfit for her. And she develops a lot as a character, so I didn't want to bank off of that. I wanted to show something that really felt, you know, godlike, but her as a character, she wouldn't be into like a super long, beautiful, flowy, ethereal dress. That's just not kind of the person she is. Um, she definitely falls more in line with, I mean, she's feminine, but falls more in line with a bit of a more of a tomboy kind of personality, if anything. A very rough around the edges kind of gal, very, you know, very passive, not passive aggressive, just aggressive aggressive. Uh, doesn't understand how to deal with confrontation in a way that's more diplomatic, so she's just like, fight. Um, but she's real sweet, real sarcastic though, has a hard time dealing with people who are emotional. Um, and so I wanted to give her something that was both ethereal and feminine because she's a goddess, that also though kind of worked with her personality. So I came up with this outfit idea, but you can't see the full outfit, but it's basically got this big, long, beautiful, layered kind of skirt, but it's cut in the front to allow her easy mobility with her legs, so she can do stuff, because that will definitely be important to her. And she's definitely into more tight-fitting clothing, like the tight top, um, and such like that. So I thought this was a good design. I may redesign it later, but I think this works for now. I haven't done the designs of the other 6 who turned into gods as well. And I do have some ideas though. I think my biggest struggle with this picture, was, at first it was the pose. Getting the pose down. I drew like a whole entire picture and got like halfway through the line art for it that was much larger and showed like her legs and everything, and it was a bit of a different pose, and I didn't like how it looked, so I was just like, scratch it, we're gonna redo it. And I recorded that as well, so that was really rough on that part. But no, I think I like how this turned out. I think it was good. Here I am starting to color and shade. I did the face. And hair is a pain for me to shade when I'm not painting it. I don't know. I don't usually really like how it looks. This was alright. At first I was just gonna leave her hair be the regular brown it was, but then because her color scheme kind of falls within the purple, white, goldish area, and the purple's more of like a galaxy-ish color, because she's a goddess of arcane, and I imagine it would be a swirl of colors because magic comes in all different forms and types. And so I added some white to her hair on the edges, tips, and on the underneath part, kind of like a dyed undercut kind of thing. I've been seeing e-girls who've been doing that, and other alternative folk who've been doing like underneath dyed, and that's kind of what she's got going on with her weird funky hairstyle. And I thought that looked really pretty, and I like it. Here I am shading the body because I forgot to do that. And I like to shade with purple. Something that I do here is I shade the whole entire body, and then I blend it out kind of softly with a watercolor brush. And then I turn down the opacity to, kind of, it's like a mixture of like a painted shade style and blocking. Here I was adding abs, because she definitely has like some abs, but then I was like, no, I can't draw abs like this, and so I decided to scratch it. She definitely has abs, but whatever. And yeah, here I think I had the most fun with doing the gold in this, with shading and coloring the gold, because doing the lighting was something I haven't done before, and I really liked how it turned out, and I think I had a lot of fun doing it. Making it look like gold plate instead of just like yellow material was a lot of fun, and I think I did well. Yeah. here I am painting the skirt now. Sorry about that. I'm giving you some time to watch. As you see, it's a galaxy kind of thing. I added some blues and pinks and then blended them in with the purple and kind of added more. And I did that same thing with these puffy sleeves. I wanted them to be like some like cool, translucent, pretty puffy sleeves. And I feel like now looking back on it, I could have done better with making them look a little more realistic in the folds and texture of it, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. You know, you live, you learn. And I really like how the sleeves turned out. The idea for the sleeves and how I did that, I thought that was really pretty. And yeah, she's got these, like, I imagine she's got kind of like those Greek-esque like sandals that like have the tie-ups that go up to like her thighs kind of thing. I thought that would be really cool. Big thick straps. But yeah, this is Veiko. It's Veiko. I guess since I got enough time, I can probably talk a little bit about who she is as a like a person, as a character, what her whole entire shtick is. Basic general synopsis is she's a Vega, which is a generational breed within the world, which means only one of them is born per generation. So only one of them can exist at a time. And for her time, during that time, Vegas were strictly outlawed because of a great war that had occurred 500 years before her birth, around 500 years before her birth, between the last generational Vega and the last generational Kitsu, which is another generational breed. And this is a lot different than it is currently in the story because this is equivalently like about probably around 1,000 years, over 1,000 years before anything I'm currently writing is currently happening, if that makes sense. And she is a Vega, and that is technically an outlawed breed because they basically pinned this whole entire war on her, which is sucky because it really wasn't necessarily 100% her fault. Definitely partially, but not 100%. It's complex. And, you know, she was born into a family out of a affair and was kind of kept a secret, and because of that she was never found to be a Vega because Vegas are strictly outlawed and would be killed as a child on sight because of this. And so she lived, and I'm not going to get into her whole entire tragic backstory, but basically Vegas are dangerous because they're really magically powerful because of just the weird pseudoscience I made up for them. And they can be very emotionally stable. They're kind of like the ultimate mages in this world, and mages are people born with magic. And magic can often be tied to emotions. And for a Vega, who's kind of like the ultimate mage in a sense as a racial thing, because a lot of mages are either born into generational families of mages or born into a race that has a particular arcane that is generally within their bloodline as a race. And she definitely fell in that racial category and was kind of like the ultimate racial mage, and basically wasn't supposed to exist, ended up existing, you know, and obviously that's going to ensue a lot of problems. And it's a whole entire story, but she gets really strong later, and in order to defeat the big bad evil villains for the rest of the story, for the big climax of the story, those guys, her and her friends basically had to sentence them to godhood, because they're kind of unkillable, but sentencing them to godhood would put them on the celestial plane, and putting them on the celestial plane would mean they were no longer able to interact with the people of this world, and because they were big bad evils, they would hopefully be forgotten to time and lose their power, because things in the celestial realm only have the amount of power that the people in the main plane, Farlia, are able to give them through worship, devotion, or offerings, or other such things. And In doing this, they also had to, as a repercussion and consequence, sentence themselves to the celestial plane as gods. Theirs was a bit of a different story, though it's kind of a bittersweet thing. They were seen as heroes. They're called the arch heroes in history, and subsequently did grow and have grown a large amount of worshippers and those who are devoted to them. The Lowe, which is Veiko, definitely being one of them. Oh, and here I am attempting to make a circle and failing. But yeah, there's 5 others. Jeez, wrong. And I would tell you what they are, but they're in my notes, and I'm recording this on my phone, so, for another time. But she's the Lowe, the goddess of arcane, which makes sense, and she's worshipped, in different areas more. She gets a lot of Fae worshippers, because Faes are really arcana-based, and, she's chill, and, yeah, sorry, I don't know what to talk about necessarily other than this kind of stuff about the character, which may be boring to everybody, and they might just be like, shut up, let me just watch paint drawing, or, you might not even be watching anymore. That's fine. But, it's just kind of a small gist, as simple as I can get for a rundown for her and her whole entire shtick. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this painting, this video, and the process. Here I am finishing up by adding the background. I wanted to add like a cool arcane magical circle, because that's how arcane works in this world. It's by magic circles that are like beams of light that appear. And here I am adding the stars and such to the parts of the dress, because it's like a galaxy kind of thing is what I was going for. And well, I think I'm gonna show you the final product here now, and I hope you like. Thank you for watching. Bye.